And to this day, again, black culture, the positives of black culture, and the people, like, these things are adopted by society. They don't come, society doesn't come out with its own slang. Black people are okay. This American blacks dictate what's cool, what's fashionable. They dictate what's trendy. Look at them, like they're influencers to the 10th power. Like, we influence people, and people are what I look at when I see a lot of white men talking about, you know, black fatigue, saying things like, "Oh, Jamal's gonna do this," and trying to use these terms, and for people like Nick Fuentes wanting to go off and whisk his family away. What I look at that as being is that's rooted in jealousy, and that's rooted in a lot of fear. Of course, they're scared of black people, of black males, most definitely, and there also is a lot of resentment and jealousy for them, because now black men can get on. They now have to play with them on an equal footing, and they know that we're the original man. Even their women know that we are the original males of the earth. We have the most testosterone. We have the melanin. You understand? The color spectrum goes from dark to light. You're pale. You don't have what it takes to withstand the sun, the desert heat, the Sahara heat, the things that, the climates, the tropical climates, and the things like where original people started. You don't even have that. You got to go to these mountains. You got to go to the mountains, man. You don't, again, the heart, the charm, the things like the natural abilities of man. We have those things. Now, they were suppressed and tried to be beat out of us. When in slavery, it was beatings, rapings, trying to rape the men and the women, making the men feel lesser. But you can't do that anymore. Now you have to compete with Jamal on an even playing field, and your women are telling on you, man. You're just scared that your daughter gonna end up with Jamal, or your wife, or your, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna end up with a mixed baby and don't know what's going on. Now that's one thing, like I said, that we need to check within the community is having a bunch of babies out of wedlock, because that's the cause of a lot of black fatigue. You understand? That's the cause, and I'm using air quotes when I say that, because it's just, but everybody have they problems, like, and we can't just, when we want to just blanket everybody, like how people like Nick Fuentes do. Nick Fuentes, you being like, you can't be serious, like you're being a joke when you do that, because if we wanted to do that, we could be like, all white people are serial killers, all white people are mass shooters, all white people sleep with their family members, all white people sleep with their animals, all white people are gay, all white men are gay. Because y'all the ones who introduced that stuff. Y'all the ones who taught that. Black people wasn't on that. We wasn't on all that. Well, all white men are sexual deviants, trans and weirdos. We didn't introduce that to the culture. That's not, black men are traditionally totally against that stuff. You want to talk about all that? They might be on that down low, man. Look, nah. Black men have been traditionally against that. Y'all have pushed that culture on, and a lot of black people are vulnerable, because of generational curses and things like that. You've had years of generational wealth building, and even if you didn't own slaves, the discrimination kept a certain group of people from even getting to the places where you were. You weren't even, a lot of times you weren't even qualified. There's so many tons of look at the black people who come over here from other countries and things like that, or Africans, or any other black people around the country. They're smart. They come over, they're doctors, they're lawyers. They know what the agenda is, and they come and do that. It's just so happened that due to all of the things, the traumas, because there is traumas, PTSD, things that are experienced generationally. If you want to be a conservative Christian, if you're a white Christian, don't use the Bible just when it's convenient for you. But the Lord say that He visits the sins of the fathers on the seventh, all the way to the seventh generation, like so generation after generation. Now you're bearing the curses of your forefathers as the white man who goes and who's disrupted a lot of countries, impoverished them, stole from them, white collar crime, robbed them. That's another thing. We could say that all white men are white collar crooks. When you look at all the schemes, the Ponzi schemes, the pyramid schemes, all of that stuff come from white men. The internet crimes, that's a lot of white men doing that. You understand? Yeah, you got foreigners now try to scam you, but the white men are the ones who come with all them these white collar schemes, these internet schemes, and just give me this, and then I'm a lead you to this website that's basically just like I said, a pyramid scheme. Y'all do, but just because it's not technically illegal, you will rob an old lady of her money and mislead her and do stuff like that. So we got to stop with the blanket terms. And for the black, it's a few black people, the Jesse Lee Petersons, the Hodge twins. You got people like that who try to and I know the Hodge twins are mixed, but it's like, bro, you got to understand that if it was a race war, which it won't be, but if when the whites get to hating on blacks and stuff, yeah, you may they may smile in your face, but they don't like you either. You're part of them. They group everybody in. If you got a drop of mix of black blood, you're grouped in with them. You're black. So don't try to make it seem like you're the exception. I'm the good black one. That's just cooning to me, man. You look silly, bro. Like, you look like that you would sell out your own people, and they wouldn't do, and the other races wouldn't do that for you at all. Like I said, every race has their stereotypes. Every race have the things that they do. Every race have their criminal element and bad people. Like I said, man, you look at the child molester rate, the chomos, the people who commit incest. You got the most wicked Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy. Man, white people have done some of the most wicked things you could ever see. Like when they get on wickedness, man, they take it to the 10th power. Yeah, some niggas in the hood, like I said, YNs, young niggas in the hood, we are tired of y'all. We tired of niggas trying to be King Von, trying to be in teaching kids that Lil TJ, and trying to be, crashing out, throwing their life away. Man, you could do whatever you want in this world right now. Look how many people just making money on the internet, running their mouth, or making money on the internet, doing the things that the talents, the things that they love, exploring their talents. You could do that, man. Get the Lord in your life. See, that's what we need to return to, and I'll keep saying that. But we want to, and see, that's why we in the position we in, because black people sinned against the Lord as His people. Do you think Moses was white? Come on, man. Like, listen to at least, and that's what I respect about the ISUPK. The Black Hebrew Israelites. That's you need to start studying more of where you come from, the tribes that you come from. All this race stuff didn't exist. You need to start studying more of your true history, because they don't want you to know that, because you will learn that you are the true people of the Bible. You are the earth's first man. You are the man of the earth. Just because white people came and did a bunch of, like, everything they have is stolen culture. It's stolen culture. So, and again, and now don't get me wrong, America is fine. It's it's fine from everyone who's had a hand in building it. I'm not finna be on some, we need to appreciate what the white, bro. Why? Because we know the true history. Like, bro, I don't appreciate the things you've done, at the end of the day. But as far as building a civilized society, you did that for yourself. You did that for you. And we just take part in it. You know, and like, but you did that. You didn't do that for us.